The secret to making your first million is not what you think. There's no one thing that you can do to get to your first million. It's not about investing in crypto, starting a business, or buying stocks. While those things may help you get there faster, it all boils down to the way that you think. So here are 8 millionaire mindset hacks they don't teach you in school. No. 1. Money is a game. The biggest hack that made me a millionaire is realizing that money is a game. The moment you realize this, everything changes. You start to understand how to play the game. The problem is we're taught our entire lives that money is hard to come by. And when we grow up, we remain with this scarcity mindset of money is hard to come by. But money is actually everywhere. You just have to know how to access it. So if you want to become a millionaire, you have to change the narrative. Start saying money is easy to come by and live as if money is easy to come by. Once you start thinking of money in this way, the game becomes so much easier to play. For example, when I started my channel, I didn't know any camera or video editing software. I didn't let that stop me though. Instead, I said money is easy to come by. I went out and bought $300 worth of equipment and edited my first video with Windows Movie Maker. Point is, I could have easily told myself I can't do this right now. I don't know anything about video editing or filmmaking. But I refused to believe that money was scarce, because I knew once I put in the work and learned the skills, money would be easy to come by. No, to adopt an abundance mindset. When you adopt an abundance mindset, you attract more abundance into your life. Most people will never be millionaires because they have a scarcity mindset. Scarcity leads to jealousy. Jealousy leads to hatred. And hatred only produces more scarcity. It's a vicious cycle. On the other hand, an abundance mindset will lead to gratitude. Gratitude leads to generosity, which in turn leads to even more abundance. This is a beautiful cycle that every millionaire lives and breathes by. Personally, I feel like an abundance of knowledge is being shared online right now. Anyone who wants to learn something new or improve their life can do so for free. If someone doesn't have access to the internet, then they're the ones missing out. Not the other way around. And it's really important to keep this mindset, not only when it comes to money, but also time and opportunities. Think there aren't enough opportunities out there for everyone. Then you'll always find yourself competing with others for a slice of the small opportunity pie. However, if you believe there are endless opportunities out there, then you'll be motivated to create your own opportunities. This is the difference between a fixed mindset and a growth mindset. 3. Understand opportunity cost. In economics, opportunity cost refers to a situation where you have to give up one thing to gain another. For example, let's say you're spending $30 on a pair of shoes. The opportunity cost of buying those shoes is the fact that you used those $30 to buy something else, like maybe a book or lunch. When you make any decision, there's an opportunity cost. So you have to ask yourself whether the benefit of one option is worth giving up the other. And understanding opportunity cost is essential to becoming a millionaire, because you have to make a lot of big decisions with your money. Say you're torn between two investments. One investment has a 50% chance of doubling your money and a 50% chance of making no profit at all, while the other has a 75% chance of making 10% and a 25% chance of losing 10%. Which one would you pick? You should pick the second investment. Even though the first investment has a higher ceiling, it also has a higher risk. A common mistake beginner investors make is trying to hit home runs with every swing. If you want to become a millionaire, you have to focus on making consistent contact. Sure, some of your swings might result in singles or doubles, but if you keep putting the ball in play consistently, eventually you'll hit a home run. And when you hit that home run with a long enough bat, you'll become a millionaire. No? 4. Learn how to hold space. Have you ever met someone who was extremely positive and uplifting? When you were around them, did you feel energized or drained? If you felt energized, then you found someone who knows how to hold space. To put it simply, holding space means you're creating an environment for others to thrive. And the most successful people in the world know how to hold space for others. They know how to encourage and uplift those around them. And that's why they rise to the top. When you become a millionaire, you have the responsibility to hold space for those around you. You should lift up your friends and colleagues and family members. And the same goes for the way that you talk to yourself. Are you constantly criticizing yourself or supporting yourself? Remember, you spend the most time with yourself. So be your own best friend and biggest cheerleader. Number 5. Be your own best friend. The way that you talk to yourself matters. You wouldn't talk bad about your best friend, so don't talk bad about yourself. And the interesting thing is research shows that you talk to yourself far more than you talk to anyone else. When you talk to your best friend, you wouldn't constantly tell them everything that they're doing wrong. That's just not good for them. That's not good for you. Why? Because when you constantly criticize your best friend, they start to dislike themselves. And before you know it, that hate starts to transfer over to you. The same is true when you talk to yourself. So, instead of being your own worst critic, try to be your own best friend. Be the friend that you've always wanted. Support yourself through tough times. Lift yourself up when you're feeling low. Be the person that you've always wished you had by your side. Number 6. Become unshakable. Look, it's impossible to win every single time. Life is gonna throw you curveballs. And the difference between the people who become millionaires and the people who don't is the ability to become unshakable. Listen, sometimes you're gonna lose your entire life savings. Sometimes you're gonna go through a divorce. Sometimes you're gonna go through a tragedy. But the most successful people in the world, they've experienced tragedies. They've lost money. They've gone bankrupt multiple times. But they became unshakable. And when they lost everything, they just got right back up and started over. And guess what? They probably did the same exact thing that got them to the point of failure in the first place. The biggest hack to becoming a millionaire is to understand that failure is just another excuse to start again. This time with a little more experience. And remember, life is 10% what happens to us and 90% how we react to it. Number 7, only trust yourself. If you want to become a millionaire, you have to learn how to trust yourself. Most people will never become millionaires because they can't trust themselves. They can't trust themselves to handle the money. They can't trust themselves to make the right decisions. And they definitely can't trust themselves to stay motivated. But here's the thing, you have to start trusting yourself. Trust yourself to make the right decisions. Trust yourself to handle the money. And above all else, trust yourself to stay focused and motivated. And the only way to build that trust is by practicing. Practice makes perfect. So when you start making money, trust yourself to make the right decisions. When you get a raise at work, trust yourself to stay focused. When you get that promotion, trust yourself to maintain your humility. Number 8, invest in others. The final hack is to invest in others. Some of the richest people in the world became rich because they invested in other people. People like Warren Buffett, Bill Gates, and Ray Dalio. They all made most of their money investing in other people. Investing in other people is not only a great way to make money, but it's also a great way to pay it forward. We're all in this together. We're all in the same boat. So, it's important to help others out. It's important to lift others up. And when you invest in other people, that's exactly what you're doing. You're supporting them. You're supporting them. And in the process, you're also making money. It's a win-win situation. Listen, becoming a millionaire is not about luck. It's not about being in the right place at the right time. It's about changing the way that you think. It's about adopting a new mindset. These 8 hacks are going to help you do just that. I hope this video has been helpful. If it has, make sure to watch this video next.